It is senior night live from Dwyer Field here in Mason, Ohio. It is the last week of regular season GMC football, and this one is a big one. Andrew, tell me and the viewers a little bit about the stakes for this game and really all the games around the GMC.
Well, obviously this game, and like every single Lakota West game, has huge stakes. But around the GMC, there's also a lot of matchups that do hold a lot of stakes around who can win the GMC, and really there's a lot of scenarios, but the first one I'm going to go with you around is one that's one of the more absurd ones, and that is if Lakota West loses, Princeton loses, Hamilton loses, and East wins, then it will be a four-way tie in the GMC, and East will have a chance to share that title with everyone else in the GMC. It would be pretty remarkable for the Thunderhawks, but it would also be very remarkable if all those teams lost. Very unlikely, though, as a lot of those teams are going up against a very less worthy opponents, as Hamilton's going up against Sycamore and Princeton is going up against Coleraine. And the other scenario is that, Lakota West and Princeton, they both win their games. They will both have share of the GMC title. So that would be, probably the most common scenario out of those scenarios. But there's another scenario, and that is if either West or Princeton lose, the other one is going to win the GMC if they win. So if West can handle business tonight and Coleraine can pull off the upset of the century, the Firebirds would have the GMC title all for themselves. But, at minimum, West, if they win this game, they're going to tie for first place in the GMC. So all the Firebirds need to do is take care of business tonight, and they will have, a spot secured.
Yeah, Coleraine, 21 straight losses for them. And if they lose here tonight, that makes it 22. But if they could pull off the upset now, Princeton has not looked good lately, but I do think Coleraine pulls that one through. Before we take a second and talk about Lakota West and this matchup, let's go ahead and take a second and look around the GMC and just all the games through there. So, Andrew, do you want to start us off with Middletown at Fairfield?
Middletown at Fairfield, two teams that have been very much struggling as of recently. Fairfield has lost 6 in a row. Middletown has lost 5 in a row. Both teams started off the season hot, but both teams have been on a very big losing skid. But one of them is going to break that skid tonight, and I think it will be Middletown 35-24. I think that, pass-heavy offense of Middletown, I think it's going to really create a lot of firepower tonight against Fairfield. I don't see Fairfield doing too much. They had a great start to the year, but they fell, to rock bottom. They have really just not looked great these past, few weeks and really throughout the entire season. I do like what they have and Dominique back in that offense, but that defense is just not good enough to win them this game.
Yeah, I agree. I do think Middletown pulls this one out 31-21. I like Fairfield a lot. I love Tyler George, one of the most entertaining players in the GMC. But like you said, I don't think their defense is going to be able to hang with the big dogs on Middletown. I'm not sure I would even call Middletown a big dog, but just compared to Fairfield, their defense has just been a struggling unit. So I agree. I think Middletown takes that one. And then Sycamore-Hamilton, this is a pretty easy matchup. I don't think we need to talk too much about it. I have Hamilton winning 59-0. I don't think most teams struggle to score on Hamilton. I don't think Levi Simpson is going to get the job done and even score a point in that one.
Levi Simpson, he's top 5 in the GMC in passing yards. He's led this team to a win over Coleraine. This team, they have what it takes to win games in the GMC. They also have what it takes to lose games. They are going to lose this one 42-0.
Yeah, I'm going to say it every week, and I'm going to continue to say it. I don't know how Sycamore beat Coleraine. I really thought Coleraine was going to take that one. It was going to be their first win in a pretty long time. But
your answer is Levi Simpson. That dude,
he's
true.
A monster. That's true. He is a pretty fun quarterback to watch. But moving on, East at Oak Hills. This is one, like you said, a pretty important game. I would go ahead and give this one to East. They played pretty well against West, all things considered. Did not get the job done, but I do think Jameson Kitna will have a bit of a bounce-back week after 2 turnovers against Lakota West, and I think they're going to take care of business 49-14.
Yeah, I think East really impressed me last week. Their offense has looked the best that anyone has looked against West this year when playing them. It kind of scares me for the playoff run that the Firebirds might be on because of, how well Kitna performed in that game. But still, West was able to come up through with the win, scoring 42 points. But I do think East will win this game over Oak Hills. I just don't think Oak Hills has enough to beat them, 42-13.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish the rest of the matchups after the national anthem, and we will be back right after this. So after the lovely national anthem, we are going to return with just 2 games left to talk about, and that would be Princeton and Coleraine. I don't think this is going to surprise anyone. This is going to be a very massive blowout, I think. Coleraine, I don't think I have to say it. I don't think you have to say it. They are not a good football team. Sean Billups, he's going to do his best to get the job done, but when you're playing a team like Princeton, even though they are struggling, I don't see anything happening. I think Princeton wins 52-0.
Yeah, I do agree that Princeton is obviously the better team, but I do think that Sean Billups and Coleraine, they're going to come out with something to prove. You know, they're not going to win the game, but I think Princeton is going to struggle a lot in that game. Give me Princeton 14-8.
Okay, well, I'm just going to let Coleraine, all their coaching staff, all the players know that I am on my hands and knees begging for them to get this win, because if they do, I'm not concerned about this Mason team. I think we'll get the job done, and if Coleraine can get something going against them, they could come out with a win, and the storyline would be crazy. That would be a movie, Andrew. I really think so.
It would be a movie, but we have to take care of business first.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Let's go ahead and talk about the Lakota West matchup with Mason. We are here at Mason's home stadium, so there is that aspect. What do you got?
I think it's going to be a really well-played football game. Obviously, the field's going to be pretty wet after the rain that occurred just hours ago. Both of these teams, you know, they have some of the best defenses in the GMC West. They're ranked second in defense in the GMC, and Mason is ranked third in overall defense. Both of these teams really just don't allow a lot of points. Lakota West only allows 8.8 points per game, and Mason only allows 13.6. But I think the key factor in this one is really the offensive matchup. Mason just doesn't have enough offense to, produce. And when you look at Lakota West offense, it really all stems from running the football. That's what Tom Bolden has built this team on. And as you see right there, that graphic shown, 2,099 yards on the ground, 7 yards per carry, 30 touchdowns. They are just dominant on the ground, and I don't think Mason is going to be able to stop it. I think West wins this one 24-6, but I do think Mason, they kind of scared me because they do like to play this Firebird team close, as you saw last year, that final score being 10-7 Lakota West.
Yeah, only team in the GMC with over 2,000 rushing yards. That is an incredible feat. And I also agree. Obviously, I'm going to take West. I think they take this one 31-3. Mason's defense is incredible. That is, if there's one thing about this team I'm scared about, it's got to be that defense, as we see those hungry Comets coming out of their nice little football blow-up helmets. But at the end of the day, I don't think we saw it last week. East did their best to stop West, and there was nothing they could do when the rush attack was on all levels. Sam Wiles, 199 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. But I really think that if there's something to look for, it's going to be Sam Wiles and this offense. So I got them winning 31-3. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it should be an amazing matchup. And, I think this game and really this entire season has just been an amazing one for the GMC. It's just so many, different upsets and matchups, and seeing so many different teams, make their case for the best of the GMC, as we see Mason, the Comets, running out like shooting stars here as they enter the field. But it should be a really good matchup tonight. I'm really excited for this one.
I like that simile, and I don't think I have to say. I think I can guess where you got it from.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah. Like you said, I would like to shout out, the English teacher that taught me, how to get those literary terms. That's Mr. Treherne. And we do also want to shout him out for, his ability to let us know about the commitment to Purdue from Toku Fujiwara. Special congrats to him and his golf career, committing to Purdue. That is a huge accomplishment. And, West knows a lot about committing to Purdue. We see Grant Bierman also committing to Purdue. So it's just a great place to go. And really just congrats to him and, everything.
Yeah, I'm excited for November 13th. I believe that's our official signing day. But, I think that's all for our pregame. We are going to take a short step aside. We will be back for the start of this football game. Mason will receive for this start of this football game. We'll see a do before kick this one away. I am excited. You can see that Mason student section booming. Our West student section it's come out. It's shown itself a little bit, but it's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, it is going to be an amazing matchup tonight. As a do before gets ready to kick away, Mason receiving the ball. We'll see how their offense does, as we do want to present the starting quarterback for Mason. A very, very interesting matchup tonight, because the starting quarterback for the Mason Comets, Ashton Sheaf, actually transferred from Lakota West, and he now gets to play against his former team tonight. Definitely going to be a good experience for him, and he's done pretty well this year for the Comets. 8 touchdowns, 4 picks, 61% completion percentage, and 945 yards. Not too shabby for the starting quarterback for the Comets.
Yeah, for sure. When you're around the GMC, you're going to see some familiar faces. And Ashton Sheaf, you mentioned it pregame, or I guess not pregame, but before the stream, he has really made a name for himself here at Hamilton. All right, Mason again. A snap. It'll be a quick handoff up the middle. The star running back for Mason. That one is Timi Adesanya, he has really made a name for himself there as well, with over 500 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, nothing doing there. That West D-line, especially Cole Mundy, who has really come up late in the season, making a presence known. It's really tough to run the ball against this team, just simply based off the fact that they just have, so many big bodies there in that line. It's going to be a rough night if Mason wants to just attack this on the ground.
Sheaf rolls out to his left, pressure coming, gets it out, bobbled around, nearly intercepted by Micah Markley, just wasn't able to pull that one down.
And that would have been a pretty not great first throw for your first throw against your former team, but Sheaf gets lucky there, and now it'll bring up a 3rd and long as Ashton Sheaf in this Mason offense. Really interesting to see what they do here. They're probably going to have to drop back for a pass, and we'll have to see how that passing offense looks, as they have not really been great in either passing offense or rushing offense this year.
Yeah, this team has definitely struggled offensively, but we'll see what they can do here on 3rd and 9 as Sheaf sets up. Snap, looking, 4-man rush, rolling around. He's going to take it himself, and he will slide short of the first down.
I thought it was a pretty good play there from Sheaf, just getting out of the pocket, scrambling, but unable to get the first down there. And fans booing as the punting team is brought on.
I'm sure it's been a frustrating season as you have to watch this offense, and on your very first drive in one of the biggest games in the season, you're going to go ahead and end it off like that.
Yeah, but I do like the decision. You're in your own territory. You don't want to give the Firebirds an easy field, especially knowing you trust your defense. Brian Kastner, he's built this program on being a defensive powerhouse, and they've really shown it this year, being 3rd in overall defense in the GMC, as the fair catch is called for right there by Trey Barnett.
Yeah, Kaser Wilhelm, one of the I say it every single week, Andrew. I name one player. This week it's Wilhelm. He has been that jack of all trades for Mason. He has been a guy. He returns kicks, he punts kicks, as you saw, and he's a great defender with 6 turnovers, 27 tackles, and 3 passes defended.
Yeah, he just does a great job every single week for this team. 4 interceptions really stands out to me, first in the GMC in that category, and I hope Wiles can just not have too much of a day passing. I mean, I think West is going to run the ball a lot here, but one thing to look at for this offense is Luka Gilbert out for this game. We'll have to see how this offense responds without him.
That one's to Johnson up the middle, and Mason does a good job of squashing that as a flag flies. That one was very late.
And it's going to be on Lakota West as the ref signals to that side. Might have been something after the play, extracurricular, as the Firebirds will move back. Not the way you want to start for your offense. As, like I was talking about, Luka Gilbert's a huge loss for this game. And it's going to be interesting to see how Xavier Radica and Jack Burrell and these backup tight ends step into that role of being such a good blocking tight end that Gilbert was. He provided a lot for this, rushing offense. With the loss of him, is gonna take a lot off that rushing offense.
So here we go on 2nd and 22. Very, very backed up. Motion man to Davis. Davis cutting upfield. He's got a room and a nice tackle right there. That one by number 37 on Mason.
And, man, they fly to the ball right there, wrapping up Davis. And not much they can do as Alex Brown with the tackle. Really good job there.
He's been the top tackler on this team, over 75
looks like Davis is
tackles.
A bit roughed up. That is not good to see.
That's 2 of your top guys down. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Trey Barnett. I see him grasping that stomach, so that could just be maybe got the wind knocked out, but we'll see. I think that's Reese Mason coming in the game to play some receiver. What he was originally listed as at the beginning of the season, obviously he's changed up his passion project, I would say. But we'll see him in as receiver. Maybe he'll get his first catch of the season. Wiles empty backfield, looking, rolling to his left on 3rd down, fires deep to Mason, turns up on his head. What a catch by Reese Mason.
Oh my goodness. First of all, what a great job from Wiles evading the defender, rolling out. I mean, it was an easy blitz off the edge. No one blocked in. Number 17 got right around. Looked like it was going to be a quick sack for Mason. But then Wiles rolls out on 3rd and 18, just throws it up to Mason, who had just come into the game, replacing Tyson Davis, and he makes an amazing catch, one of the best of the year for the Firebirds this year. Just an all-around amazing play.
Yeah, keep in mind, that one was over Wilhelm, their top corner. What a gutsy call to target a guy who hasn't had any snaps on as receiver this year. And it pays off as that one goes to Johnson up the middle, pumping those legs to get a nice gain of about 6 there.
And Wiles, I feel like every time he drops back, you don't know what you're going to get with him. His ability to evade pass rushers and find his own man, I mean, it is second to none in the GMC. You know, the dual threat ability that he has, he's always dangerous. As the Firebirds continue this drive, I mean, they were backed up 3rd and 18, and now they are looking to punch this one in as they are in Mason territory.
Yeah, Mason made a great defensive stop, but just wasn't enough. That one will go to Johnson again, and big play from the power back. I think that's going to be another first down for West.
And they're going to lean heavy on their run game, as they always do. And I really like how this offense works with the triple option and everything. And I really am excited to see how Xavier Radica can play tonight. You know, he was the backup to Luca, him and Jack Barella, both of them. As you see, both of them are on the field right now. And I really am excited to see how they will play because they both have amazing potential as tight ends. And, you know, both of them are going to have to play amazing tonight if West is going to want to win this football game.
This Mason student section, it showed out. Wiles, direct snap, quarterback run. Nice group of tacklers there. Wiles gets a nice gain, and he gets the crowd going.
And I think this game is just much as, you know, it's just your guy versus our guys. And it's really just the trench battle that's going to determine this game. Both of these teams live and die in the trenches. And I think West definitely has the better trenches, but Mason they're tough. They keep up. You know, they play a tough style of football, similar to, you know, a team like Iowa or, a team like some of those teams in college that you see, you know, they don't really do much on offense, but they play the field position battle. They stop you on defense, and they make it really hard to beat them. As
Wiles hits Barella, and that's going to be only a gain of 1, but a great play, turn from other. I thought Johnson had it the whole time, but got around the defenders and was able to get something, turn nothing into something.
I mean,
that's going to bring up 3rd and
he is just a magician. I mean, he was stopped for a loss of maybe 2 or 3, ended up evading the defender somehow. I mean, they were right in his face, and picks up at least, you know, a yard back, as now it's 3rd and 5 for Lakota West.
Wiles in shotgun. He's got Johnson to his left. Snap. Looking. Pressure coming. Gonna lob that one up. He's got Barnett. Flags come out. And that's gonna be incomplete. Or is... I'm not sure what that was. That one was to Brogdon.
Looks like there might be PI.
I think it was incomplete, but I do think there's going to be PI on Mason.
Or they might just... Yep, they're moving the ball up, so it'll be first down for the Firebirds.
So another miscue for Mason. We're seeing the pass game get going. I think if I'm St. Wiles, I might go ahead and lean on that if it's working. Both facets of the offense have been getting yards, but the pass game has definitely, we haven't seen anything like that so far this year. Wiles, snap, looking, pressure off the right side, gets that one out, and nice gain right there to Brogdon. And you're seeing that Luca, you're seeing that the loss of Luca is definitely having an impact.
Yeah, I know, and not sure if he was throwing that to Brogdon or Tyson, but it worked out. He got the catch. First, it looked like Tyson stretched his arms out to go for the ball, but went right over his head and ended up in the hands of Brogdon. But I think the Firebirds, all things considered, with, you know, players getting injured, they're doing a really good job of moving this football down the field in this opening drive.
Wiles, the motion man. Gonna give it to Davis. Davis got the left angle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Lakota West.
What an amazing start to this one. Tyson Davis.
My goodness, right off that left side, and I think he's healthy if you ask me.
Yeah, he is definitely healthy, and Luca looking over the sideline as his team just orchestrated an amazing drive. Went from 3rd and 18 and dead in their rights in their own territory to up 6-0 early, and a really good start to this game for the Firebirds.
The extra point is good from a do before. So it is 7-0 in the first quarter. Lakota West looking to continue their defensive masterclass here at Dwyer Field. It is 5:50 left in the first quarter. We will see you when we return here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. So we will return as the do before puts this one up to Mason. Andrew, what did you like on that first offensive drive for Lakota West?
Well, I like the ability for the Firebirds to go through that adversity and still end up with points on the board. That's what shows the heart of a team that wants to win.
As a big return up the left sideline, getting the crowd roaring for Mason as they'll start this one at about the 38-yard line.
Great return right there. Mason, they did have a punt return earlier in the season that took it back all the way as Preston Estoista, he had an amazing play there way back in the season, a 99-yard punt return for a touchdown.
But we'll see what Sheaf can do here on 1st and 10 for their second drive of the game. First one stalled out. Looking for something different. That one up the middle. Nice run right there to the offense. That's Teamy again on the run.
Really good job there for Mason blocking, getting him into the edge, and that'll bring up second down. If the Comets can just get a first down on this drive, that would be a win for them. Their offense just needs some way to get going, and I think that's just trying to call plays that'll throw the defense off guard. You can't play too predictable, especially going up against a defense of this caliber.
If I'm Mason, I'm going to pound that ground game because when you're playing a team like West, just throwing it is just not going to work. As that one, another handoff to Teamy, trying to get around that left sideline. He will, and there's that first down you were looking for, Andrew.
Well, yeah, he's been amazing this year in the ground game. 549 yards on the ground and, 6 touchdowns, 5th in the GMC in yards, and he averages 4.4 yards per carry. So he's done, his fair share for this team offensively. And you've really seen this Mason offense play a lot better in these last few weeks. They've gone against some of the more bottom feeders in the GMC, like the Colerains, the Sycamores, and the Fairfields. And they've really flexed their muscles and shown, that they are, one of the top teams that can contend with teams like Lakota West.
Yeah, they've really turned around this season. 1st and 10. Sheaf gonna take it himself, rolling to his right. Fires, got a man bobbled in the air, incomplete. Not sure if they'll call that one as a completed pass, but they won't, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Really good play there from Derek Edwards. He has the interception on that season. He's really gone under the radar for this defense, but he's made some really nice plays, 37 total tackles and a sack and a half. So, nice to see him making a play there once again.
So here we go on 2nd and 10. It was a nice line, just wasn't able to pull that one through. Good play design for Mason as Sheaf sets up with one back behind him, 4 wide out. Lakota West brings 5. The extra blitzer off the left as that one is intercepted by Bierman, the Purdue commit, racing past Mason offensive players, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 29-yard line. It was tipped off of the hands of Reese Mason, but Grant Bierman's got that one going the other way.
He's going for the dunk, and he gets it in. He dunks it down.
Just a great tradition for Lakota West.
I mean, talk about the culture in this program. Right there, showing off his skills in football and also basketball as he throws that one down. And the Firebirds will take over. It looks like Mason ran the exact same play there, trying to get their tight end out. They saw it worked on the first play, but West was all over that on the second play, and an easy interception off the tip.
This has been a fluctuating Mason team. They have had some great defensive and offensive plays and also some disastrous ones, as you saw right there. So we'll see what Wiles can do with 4 wide. Motions Norman. Going to take it himself, something he loves to do, and that is why to the 10, the 5, and he is into the end zone for the second touchdown of the day.
And the Firebirds are rolling. We thought maybe Mason, would give this team some trouble. You saw last year 10-7, a really close game. But Lakota West, they were reminded of that game last year, which they really felt like they could play better. And they have shown that tonight. This is no trap game. The Firebirds are coming here, and they're handling business.
So assuming an extra point is made, it'll be 14-0 already. There was some doubt because of that close game last year. Lakota West pulling it away 10-7. As Mason, I believe West tried to go for something there. Did not work out. So it'll be 13 instead of 14. But assuming they can continue this game, West looks incredibly strong tonight. It is 13-0 with 4:28 left to go. Lakota West looking to add to their win column here at Dwyer Field on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.
Has Mr. Glam commented yet?
So it is 13-0, 4:28 left as that one soars into the end zone for a touchback. Andrew, what is going wrong for Mason throughout this first couple of drives?
Well, it's just been, their offense and then not taking advantage of good situations. They've been in good situations so far. They had West pinned at 3rd and 18, but West made an amazing play, kept the drive going, and eventually punched it in. And then right there on that drive, the blocking of West really showed and flexed their muscles, and they got an easy Wiles touchdown run. And so, Mason, they're going to want to, continue to do what they do, try to make this game a game. But it's really tough for a team like Mason to play from behind because their identity lies in running the football and creating good field position. So when you're down 2 scores early in the game, it's going to be hard when you don't have that good of an offense.
Sheaf not having the best day as that one's flipped to the backfield. He's got a nice lane, room to run, a couple men to beat before Reese Mason pushes him out of bounds. What a run right there. I believe that one was Brandon Birdsong with the run. That one looking great for Mason.
Yeah, and I tell you, Mason, they might not be the better team in this game, but they're showing a lot of heart so far. They're really, you can tell they came here with effort, and they're showing it on the field so far.
So 1st and 10, that's the second huge run we've seen from Mason. It's a good play call and really great blocking on that right side to be able to cut back to the left side. Sheaf looking, pressure coming, rolls to his left, flags fly, and he's just going to soar that one out of bounds. We'll see what the flag is on the call. So it's going to be holding on the Comets. That is a penalty that really sets back your entire offense. It's killed so many drives on every level of football, and it's going to be a hard one for Mason to come back to on 1st and 20.
Yeah, if you're a team like Mason, you cannot get behind the chains like they did just there, and it's really not a good look for your offense. 2nd and 20, you don't have an offense with Sam Wiles and Reese Mason where you can really create that magic, or maybe they do. We'll have to find out here.
Sheaf, snap. gives it up. And a big hit at about that 50. You're seeing a second carry right there for Birdson. Kind of shocking when Temi has been the guy pretty much all season long.
Yeah, we're seeing Mason kind of start, creating holes for their offense. That penalty really hurt them, but they've been getting a lot of yards on these plays. Kind of concerning if you're the Firebirds that Mason is getting the ball down the field. They've had it in Lakota West, near Lakota West territory for 2 straight drives, and if they can continue to sustain this drive, they can potentially punch this thing in for some points.
So it is 2nd and 12 for the Mason Comets. Chief, snap, looking, pressure coming out the left side. Nice completion there. That one going to who else but Ethan Jordan, who has been that top guy on this team, 220 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And that'll bring up a 3rd and short, and a very big decision here. What do you do with your offense? And if you don't get it, I think you got to go for it if you don't get this one. But I think they will run it here. I think it's the smart decision. Run it and then set up, a 4th and short for your offense.
Yeah, you're already down 2 scores. I think you got to get something going. Like you said, if you don't get it, you got to go for it again. But 3rd and 4, this is a big one. This is where Lakota West shines. They show blitz. Handoff up the middle, and there is the Lakota West defense making the stand.
And wow, it looked like Sheaf, if he would have just kept it, would have had a lane maybe to get near that first down at least. But now you're not in a great position. But the analytics do say to go for it, and I think they will. It's a 4th and 6. I'd look to see maybe Sheaf drop back, get the ball in the air, maybe extend the play. Looks like Sheaf is coming out the field, and they will send the punting unit on. So not a good sign there for Mason. As, I don't know if I really trust my defenses that much here. As they have not really shown that they can get a stop on this Firebird team so far. I think if you're Mason here, you got to go for that, but they will punt it away.
So my favorite part of the game, Reese Mason returns. Let's see if he can get anything going. Low punt. It's going to be a bouncer, and nowhere near Reese as that one bounces out about the 12. Nice punt right there from Wilhelm. And Sam Wiles in this offense will set up shop inside the 15.
Yeah, and, I think this team really, they gotta get something going, Mason does, defensively. They got to make a turnover. They have to have some type of fluke play that'll give them, a chance to maybe turn the tide of this game. And I think right here you have Lakota West kind of backed up. You have a chance. If you get a turnover, you can put yourself in really good position to score.
For sure. This is a team who is really good at getting out of sticky situations, whether it's field position or 3rd and however many as Wiles. Quick screen play to Davis. Davis, the nice runner, breaking tacklers. And that'll be close to that first down marker to bring up 2nd and short.
Yeah, and I think if you asked every single GMC coach in the GMC, if there's one team that they just don't like playing, that they just see on their schedule, that they don't want to play, I think that would have to be Mason. I mean, they're really just a team that has a lot of grit. They don't let you get anything easy, and, it's going to be tough when you're going up against a team like Mason because they just have that style of play that's tough to play against.
Wiles. Another quick screen. This one to Norman. He's got room to run. He is fast, fighting a tackler, and he just steps out of bounds. I think it's the right call, but, man, that is frustrating. That might be a touchdown with the legs of Norman.
Yeah, Norman, he had a lot of speed on that edge right there. Him and Braden Johnson have been, the running back duo for the Firebirds this year. Both, providing, good offense for this team that they need. As look for maybe a give to Johnson here. We've seen a lot of him. He has, so many touchdowns this year for the Firebirds. 11 to be exact on the ground.
12 total is that one up the middle is going to go nowhere. The Comets collapse, and I think that's Johnson on the carry. Going to get stuffed in the backfield.
Really good job from Ryan Davis picking up that tackle. He was trying to get the fumble, but he still was able to get the tackle right there, and a really nice job as it'll be 2nd down here for the Firebirds.
So because of forward progress, they won't lose any yards there as it'll continue to be 2nd and 10. And I think they actually gained about half one there. So we'll see on 2nd and 10. We haven't seen a pass-heavy offense like this maybe ever this season. We've seen 4 or 5 passes already. Is Wiles going to take the direct snap up the middle, breaking tacklers down the field, and there is no one to beat. The block from Johnson, and Wiles is in for the 3rd touchdown of the day, his 2nd.
Well, it's a hat trick in the first quarter for the Firebirds. I mean, this is unbelievable. Going up against a Comets team that is this good, Sam Wiles is showing right now why he's the best quarterback in the GMC, I think. You look at the stats right there, 23 total touchdowns, 1,944 total yards, and he has just been everything as he dunks it down. That's about the 3rd time we've seen that tonight. I mean, what a good tradition to have for the Firebirds. They are really flexing their muscles here, and they continue to prove why they are the best team in the GMC. As of the flag before the play, it will be a false start. But, I mean, how about Wiles evading everyone? And when you're going up against a defense that's this good, they only give up 13.6 points per game, Mason does. They just gave up, barring the extra point, 20 in the first quarter. I mean, that's amazing. Lakota West offense is really shining here in these past few weeks.
So that's 25 total touchdowns for Sam Wiles this season. And count it, I believe 48 for this team all season long, as the extra point is good. So 48 touchdowns. If they can get 2 more by the end of this game, that is 50 touchdowns on the season. But only time will tell here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. So after the 48th touchdown this season, Mason needs points on the board. We'll see what they can do as that one goes out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, and I think it's really, they just got to get something going. And I think they have something going in that run game. And I think they got to continue to try to, run that football. Their offensive line is going to have to block really well for them to get anything going. And I think it has done a decent job so far tonight.
So with just 13 seconds to go, I would expect to see 1, maybe 2 plays. 1st and 10 for the Comets. Sheaf looks comfortable in the pocket, but that comfortableness has not led to much through the pass game, as that one will be another handoff to Teamy, I believe, but it is going nowhere as you got Micah Markley down there and not much you can do. Him and Giordano.
Yeah, really great first quarter from the Firebirds. That'll bring us to a break. Just an amazing job. Not much else you can really say. The Firebirds are rolling here in quarter number 1.
So Sheaf returns on second down. Looking, pressure coming off the right side. Thomas falls down. Sheaf takes it himself, and that one's going nowhere as you got Micah Markley down there at that middle linebacker position to stuff him right at the front.
Good job from that West D line. As you see, this Mason student section, a lot of people showed up tonight for this game, and it's a good atmosphere here tonight. But for the Comets, they have not been able to perform against this Firebird team. But that's saying a lot, because no one can perform against this Firebird team when you watch them throughout the GMC. I mean, every week it just seems like they just dismantle teams further and further. We'll see what Sheaf can do here on second down. He drops back.
Looking, rolling to his right, fires, and incomplete. That one definitely bobbled, so it'll bring up 4th and 5. Lakota West will back deep to receive unless Mason decides to go for it, which they will not. So we'll see that return game once again.
And once again, you'll see Reese Mason, always so dangerous.
Are they going for it?
Looks like it says first down on the screen.
Did they call that a catch? I can't believe that. I saw that ball bobble around and hit the ground, but I guess they will call that a catch. Sorry for this communication. Sheaf, quick handoff up the middle, and another stuff for Lakota West.
You see here some of the GMC scores are being shown on the big board. Lakota East in a tie game right now with Oak Hills 0-0. Hamilton up 7-0 on Sycamore, and Middletown up 7-0 on Fairfield. So some of those games around the GMC being shown right there. It's a nice thing that the scoreboard has. But 2nd and 11 here, the Comets just looking to get anything going, show any signs of life.
Nice.
They do have 3 first downs so far in this game.
I don't know about that last one, but the call stands. Motions. I see a flag down, and I think that is going to be offsides on Lakota West. So a nice boost for Mason. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and sometimes these flags for Lakota West just kind of give teams life that really they shouldn't be. And sometimes Lakota West just beats themselves. And right there, they kind of did it there. Just, you got to be alert of, the hard count. And right there, it got them.
So here we go. On 2nd and 6. Very manageable. West shows blitz, and another flag flies. And I think this one is going to be on the Comets.
Yeah, and now Mason getting a little, too quick to go. And it'll just be a net no gain for either team there, as
we're hearing the parents get in on some student section chanting, "You can't do that." Maybe remembering some of their old high school days for sure.
Yeah, But, I mean, it's always great to see, the parents, living out and enjoying these high school football games and watching their kids play.
For sure, as she takes this one. Blitz coming. Nice play right there. And he'll get tackled by Finn Mason. The big hit. That one
It'll be 3rd down.
Catch by Tristan Niehaus there. But yeah, 3rd and 3. That was a nice little play call right there. And some good blocks set up the 3rd and short.
And right here, I want to see Ashton Sheaf use his legs. I think he's shown that he can do definitely some things here. And against his former team, he's going to be wanting to prove a point here, as it is a big-time moment if Mason wants to stay alive in this one.
3rd and 3. That one to the right side. He's got more than the first down. Nice play right there.
And I think the score does not really show how, separated these teams are. I think Mason is definitely a respectable team. They've gotten a lot of first downs, and you may look at this score and be like, well, Lakota West was up 21-0 against Oak Hills in the first quarter too, but Mason is much better than Oak Hills, I think. And we've seen Mason do a lot more, and they've shown that they can actually move the ball decently against this Firebird team.
Another quick handoff. That was their 3rd back of the game previously. That one to Wilhelm, that guy we mentioned earlier. And that one will go nowhere to bring up 2nd and long.
Wilhelm, like you said, a jack of all trades, but he's most known for his defense. one of the best defenders in the GMC.
Interesting how many different lineups we're seeing. 3 different running backs have taken that carry, and then if you count Sheaf as your 4th, kind of looking like Lakota West out there.
Yeah, they like to run the ball a lot in Mason, and they kind of run their style kind of like Lakota West. This team is kind of like, that Lakota West type offense. As
big play right there from Lakota West. That one, Cam Thomas, the game wrecker himself. He has been a menace on defense. 10 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions, I believe, and a forced fumble, or I believe other way around. Either way, 3 turnovers forced.
Yeah, I mean, just him and Cole Mundy coming off the edge. I feel bad for Ashton Sheaf right there. There's nothing he can do, as it'll bring up a 3rd and forever. We saw the Firebirds kind of in this position. They converted, but it's going to be really tough for Mason to convert here. We'll see what Sheaf can do.
3rd and long. Fires deep. Targeting Reese Mason. It is incomplete, way overthrown, and that'll be another turnover, another 4th down for Mason.
And they wanted the flag there, but it was just too overthrown, wasn't catchable, and man, that's just one you want to have back if you're Sheaf. He showed the arm strength there, but he just overshot him a little bit too much. But, if he didn't overshoot him, it could have been a pick, as, Reese Mason was draped all over him.
Yeah, great defense from Reese Mason, staying on his man all the way through. Him and Barnett back to receive. Nearly blocked. That one's a high flyer, out of bounds, and they will start at about the 26. This has been an offense who normally is that run-heavy team, but they have definitely done some work defensively, through the pass game, not defensively. That doesn't make sense. Although they do get some big plays from the defense to get some yards to the offense, but it is 1st and 10 for Sam Wiles.
Yeah, and Sam Wiles, I think what he just wants to do here is make sure he doesn't have to play in the second half. Make this game a running clock and just settle down and win the football game. Mason, this is a team that I feel like, this game should be a lot more closer than it is right now, but Lakota West has really played amazing. And I think Mason, if they want to get a stop here, but the Firebirds can really throw this one away and win this thing right here if they can get a touchdown.
Up, fake to Johnson. Wiles cutting up field, staying alive. Ball comes out, and Mason recovers. Oh, no. Wiles still down on the field. I think it's just... No, he is not looking good. That was a big, big hit. Mason takes over. Wiles is still laying down on the field. We'll take a short step aside and let you know how he's doing when we return. So Wiles gets up on his own, which is definitely a good sign, but a scary, scary play for Sam Wiles right there. Able to get up on his own is always a good sign, but now we got Jackson Smith's show after this defensive drive.
Yeah, really unfortunate there to see that. You never want to see something like that on the football field, and really hopefully Wiles can recover and get back on the field. But Lakota West, we'll see what they can do here defensively. Mason, off the big hit, is given a gift as they get it to the outside.
A nice play, but dragged out of bounds by the tackler, Grant Bierman. That one to Teamy, and took out the chain gang a little bit right there, but nice play from him, from Mason.
Poor guy on the sideline got absolutely
decked.
Yeah.
This
looks like he's all okay, though.
This team is going to have to rally around Jackson Smith.
Yeah, when you're up 20 points, you obviously, as a defense, you want to get this game stopped here. You don't want to allow them to touchdown, because then it's kind of that danger zone where, if Mason gets something going, They're going up against the backup quarterback in Smith. They could potentially, put this game in jeopardy for the Firebirds.
I think Temmie slipped right there, but Giordano, I think, fills the gap. And it'll bring up 3rd and short. This is huge for Mason. They have a great kicker. Not sure if he can kick from, I think that's 42, do the math, 43, about 50 yards. That's a little too much. I think this is 4-down territory. They need to get some points on the board. They were given a gift with that fumble. We'll see what they can do with it as Sheaf sets up. A lot of blockers down there. 3 out. Snap. Gonna give it up the middle, and Temmie's got the 1st down.
Looks like he might be a little bit short there.
Yeah, definitely short.
It'll bring up 4th down. This obviously you go for it here.
I thought he had a momentum fall.
4th and 1. This might be the biggest play of the night. And we're going to see if this Firebird defense can hold up.
We'll see if they go QB sneak. You have to go for it here, and you have to get it if you're Mason. 4th and 1. Scary territory for West. You can go pass, you can go run.
Here we go. This is the biggest play of the game so far tonight.
Looking like a QB sneak. Ball dropped. Flag comes out. I think it's going to be a false start, and that's going to change everything for Mason.
West comes up with the football. Just a really odd play right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, she just stared at the ground for about 2 seconds there. I'm not sure what happened. Definitely a false start. I think everyone moved before the snap. And I think no, so they will still go for it on 4th and 6.
Still a huge play. They understand that if they can get some points on the board here, they're going up against a backup quarterback. They can get a stop, but don't underestimate Jackson Smith. You look at his rushing stats this year. He has done really well in the triple option when he's got playing time. 158 yards on the ground, 9.9 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. Just really been very effective.
So a timeout for Mason means they'll have some time to think about this call. 4 minutes left in this second quarter. Lakota West up 20 points. This one is a big one here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. So on 4th and 6, 4 minutes left. Andrew, where does Mason go?
I'm not sure, but it looks like Ashton Sheaf is lined up, ready to take the snap here.
Sheaf looking, pressure coming, and here comes the Lakota West defense, swarming. Micah Markley and Cam Thomas get him first, as well as Mundy, and that is a turnover on downs.
An amazing play there. Brought the all-out blitz. It's just too easy when you got those guys. Micah Markley
with the jam.
Beating his chest. This defense is just dominating right now. Every single time Mason seems like they have some momentum, Lakota West just makes a play that, nothing Mason could do to stop it. And now the Firebirds, Jackson Smith show, taking on here. Is that Sam Wiles out there?
Wiles
it looks like it is.
Back in the game. Oh, my goodness.
I'm not sure if that's the right decision, but
yeah, I think if he must have just been rattled because of the fumble, I think. or I don't think they would play him in a blowout like this. But nevertheless, Wiles sets up with Johnson to his right. Snap, pressure coming, looking, rolling to his right. Got a man coming from behind, and he's just going to take that one out of bounds for the gain of 1.
Yeah, good decision there to just go out of bounds there after what happened on that last play. Don't want to risk any further injury as the Firebirds will look to just take this thing down, try to score before halftime.
This has become a battered team. You saw Davis go off to the sideline. He's fine. You saw Wiles go off to the sideline. He's fine. This is definitely a Tom Bolden-led offense if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, this group of guys is really tough, and they're showing it on display here.
Wiles going to take it himself. Lateral to Davis, and I think it's a bad thing that goes out of bounds because I think that was a backwards throw making it a lateral. But
Yeah,
it's going to be third and very long.
Really thought Wiles should have just taken that one himself. He had kind of an opening. It was kind of unnecessary to throw that thing behind him.
Yeah, definitely committed a little too much to the play. Should have probably just taken that one himself. But this offense has stalled since the injury and that fumble. And turnovers are that big momentum boost. But we'll see what they can do on 3rd and 9. Wiles tends to turn nothing into something. Mason shows blitz. Snap, they will blitz. Great protection. Steps up. Going to take it himself. He's got a lane. He's got more than one. He's got multiple lanes to the 30, the 20. And he is pushed out of bounds inside the 15. I think he is very, very healthy. It is safe to say.
I mean, there's not much else you can say right there. Using his legs on a 3rd and 9. I don't know. Is it impossible to take this guy down? I mean, it is just amazing how he's able to always evade and get out and just make plays with his legs. I mean, there's not much else you can say. You know, he's just an amazing runner as a quarterback, but you know, he just shines when he's running the football in space because he looks more like a running back than really a quarterback.
So it's 1st and 10. Wiles sets up. 4 receivers wide. The motion man. That one's to Davis. Getting around the right sideline. He's got more than that, and that is his 2nd one of the day. Touchdown, Lakota West.
Another truck from Davis, and it's a flag on the play as he looks like he was talking to that player after the play, flexing in his face, but not sure if it was before the play or after the play, which the flag occurred.
We'll see what the call is. Davis has exploded in his role in this offense, and you saw it again right there.
Yeah, Davis might want to take those comments back after that touchdown. Looks like it'll get called back. Maybe he'll have something here, though. So back up his trash talk as Firebirds move back.
I'm not sure what the call is because if you said he was talking after the play, that should...
Looks like it probably was holding.
Okay, so it'll be 1st and 20 for the Firebirds. Unfortunate. A nice run right there, but like I said earlier, those holding calls really kill an offensive drive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it happened after the play, then they would have just added it onto the extra point. Or the
That's what I was confused about for a moment there, but
yeah, I don't think there was a flag on Davis. I think he was just talking and it was just friendly banter. But
now I'm confused because it's still 1st and 10. Wiles on play action, rolling to his right, pressure coming, evades it, takes a hit in the pocket, and it's intercepted, but it's out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd and 10. They called a flag, took the touchdown back, but the stakes did not move, and it was still 1st down.
I don't know, just a weird sequence right there, but Mason, really unlucky. Thought he had the pick there, but he just didn't. As you see these GMC scores being shown once again, Hamilton up 21-0 on Sycamore, and Lakota East up 6-0 on Oak Hills. And I'm pretty sure Middletown was up 14-7 on Fairfield, so some good games around the GMC.
Maybe this not one that, is also Hamilton Sycamore one, though.
Maybe not, but this one's also a good game as the Firebirds looking to punch this one in once again.
So now it is 1st and goal. I think there was a penalty on that last play.
Man, just really odd day from the refs here.
I really do not know what just occurred, but 1st and 7. Lakota West primed to score after the failed touchdown earlier. Johnson to Wiles left. Snap. Gonna take it himself. Quick throw out to Norman, and it's just a little low for him, not able to pull it down.
Yeah, and that was just really good coverage from Mason. There wasn't much Lakota West could do there, as it'll bring up 2nd down. Obviously, you're in the range of a do-before at any moment, but you definitely want to punch this thing in to the end zone to just build onto your lead. I mean, already up 20-0. It'll be interesting to see, though, what Mason can do here if they have a chance to get a stop.
Play clock already down to 10.
Some confusion there, but
They're going to have to go quick. 2nd and 7. They get it off. They'll give it to Johnson. Getting to that left side. Fighting tacklers. And he'll get a gain about 2 or 3 to bring up 3rd and short. This is a difficult place to score, as the closer you get to that end zone, the harder it is to score. And now on 3rd down, they're going to have to get something going.
Yeah, and that play was just kind of broken from the start. Tyson Davis didn't really know where he was. He ended up making a nice block on the outside, but still for the Firebirds, they're going to have to get something here. I would think that Bolden would go for this if they don't get it here on this 3rd down.
He is definitely the kind of coach to go for it, up 20 points on 4th and goal. So Wiles gives it to Johnson. Johnson has the hole, and he is into the end zone. I don't see any flags, Andrew. That's a Firebird touchdown.
And once again, creating blocking on the outside. What a job these tight ends have done today. It goes unnoticed sometimes how big of a role they play, but right there, both guys, Barella and Radica, making great blocks on the outside. And it looks like the absence of Luca has not really played too much of a role tonight for the Firebirds in terms of trying to score the football.
Yeah, the blocking has definitely stepped up. He is a big part of the blocking scheme, but they've definitely done a good job of playing up to that D-line as Seats puts that one up, and it is good. So it is 27-0. If there were any doubt if these Firebirds could take on the Comets in an away setting, it has vanished. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the 2nd quarter here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. (27-0) is your score entering the possible final drive of this first half. Do-before puts that one up, and it go through the back of the end zone. Sheaf just trying to get something going offensively.
Yeah, I think right here, Ashton Sheaf is going to want to try to get this ball down the field. He had a deep shot earlier that he just missed on. And right here, I think it's going to be important that Mason, doesn't let this game go to or does not let the Firebirds get the ball back again, because you don't want Lakota West adding onto their lead before halftime. But here on this senior night, I'd love to see Mason get something going here, see if they can score, as it is a big night for them being seniors and coming out here and trying to play a good football team for their team.
Sheaf looking, 4-man rush. Gonna take it himself, and he is shoved down by Cole Mundy. Cole Mundy has had an impact on this team. He has really got the ball rolling, 3.5 sacks and 30 total tackles. He's been that inside line, presence who maybe not have the best stats on the team, but definitely has a huge impact, almost like DJ Reader type of player.
Yeah, I think Cole Mundy, his stats have, they've been amazing these last few weeks. I mean, at the beginning of the year, you would think he doesn't even play for this team, but now, he has just really had a lot of stats and a lot of plays that he's made, and he's really come on. But we've known from the start that he's going to be one of the best players on this team. I mean, just with how big he is, it's going to be tough for anyone to get past him who's trying to evade him, and especially for Sheaf there, just not able to get past him, as Cole Mundy just always lurking there.
Yes, that was the Firebirds timeout. You got to imagine if they're calling timeouts, they expect to score again before half, and then, of course, getting the ball to start. But back to Cole Mundy, he is a guy I feel like every play I see him coming out of that center, right center, left center, just chasing after the quarterback, getting pressure, and leads to a lot of big plays for the defense.
Yeah, I just want to shout out our socials real quick. Go follow the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok, and, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube already, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, definitely. It is a huge thing. If you're just subscribed to YouTube, you're missing out. There's a lot of exclusive content on all our other platforms, so definitely go out, follow all those. But back to the game as it is 2nd and 9. Ashton Sheaf going to give a quick handoff. They are going to try to burn the clock as breaks a tackle from Mason, and a big hit right there. Cole Mundy.
He has been everywhere tonight.
Devil. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, what a tough play, though, for Mason to get up after that hit. That is tough. Coming from a guy like Cole Mundy, it is not easy to get up after receiving a hit like that. And Lakota West calls another timeout. They're looking to score this thing before halftime.
Yeah, 3rd and 16. 1:49 left on the clock here in the second quarter here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. Lakota West on 3rd and 16, trying to get another play to stop this, position. It's 3rd and 6. The scoreboard up out here, Mason had a bit of a malfunction. I thought it was closer than that, but a flag flies.
See those scores on the GMC, Colerain and Princeton, 3-7 there. So Colerain trying to hold their own against Princeton. That should be a huge matchup. If Colerain can somehow pull off that upset, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so even better field position now if West can get a stop on 3rd and 10. They still have one more timeout, and I'll mention again, this is one of the things Bolden and this offense have worked on is that 2-minute warning drill. So if they can get the ball back, we'll see if they can run that as Sheaf just going to take it himself. Flags fly. He's got the first down, or at least close to it, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see what that is for.
This one might be coming back. It was a nice play from Sheaf, but it looks like it will come back, and that is unfortunate for the Comets as it'll bring up 3rd and forever.
So even longer 3rd down, but looking on the bright side, it took off a few seconds for Mason. It'll be 3rd and 20 for these Comets.
Yeah, and that is certainly 3rd and forever, as Sheaf is going to have to make something happen if they want to even come close to picking up this first down. It looks like West is going to get the ball back with more than enough time for this offense.
We'll see if they burn their last timeout. That's one less they have, obviously, and then they'll have to run with none. But here we go, Sheaf, 3rd and 20. Bit of a missed play. Dropped the ball. I thought it was handed off, kind of hooked him on it, but
Sheaf is still down.
he did fall on it. But
Man, rough rash and Sheaf. I mean,
4th and very, very long. And they'll punt that one away. And in case you had the thought of leaving for this halftime between these two teams, make sure you stick around because we will have an exclusive interview between myself and Coach Tom Bolden. So quick sneak peek of that now. And just stay tuned for that halftime of a quick little show going for our last game of the GMC regular season. But fourth and very, very long. And West takes their final timeout. So we will return to see this West offense get one more drive here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. So on 4th and 9, Lakota West deep to receive. They have Barnett and Mason. Lakota West has 8 guys lined up on the line. Bad snap. Nice kick to Barnett, and he will call a fair catch at the 45. Thought he might not have for a second, but I did think I saw that hand go above his head. So Lakota West starts at the 45. I think it was the right call to call that fair catch because he would have gotten blown up. But I'm noticing they're targeting Barnett instead of Mason on all these kicks. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or just a coincidence.
Well, I think it might be on purpose just because they know the dangers that Reese Mason presents is Trey Barnett also. But Trey Barnett's also a great kick returner. So we'll have to see here, though, as Firebirds is going to try to punch this thing in here before halftime. They have a minute and 32 as there is a flag.
I'm thinking that's going to be an illegal substitution just with how random it came out before a play began. I'm not sure what that was. I heard something about a fair catch. I don't know what the call is on, but regardless, that's a 5-yard penalty, so it'll be 1st and 15. So Wiles takes the snap. Going deep. He's got Barnett and it's overthrown. He had him wide open. He was able to split that coverage, just wasn't able to connect.
Yeah, he just overshot him. I mean, he had him running wide, but he's going to want that one back. As we've seen a lot of times late in these halves, Sam Wiles likes to use his arm and go deep with it. We saw against Middletown. We saw against Sycamore. And we've seen it a lot this season where Sam Wiles, late in this half, likes to go deep to either Barnett or Tyson Davis.
Wiles, quick throw to Davis. Davis shakes the first tackle, but isn't able to actually, and he'll get pulled down for a gain of about 3. That one tackled by Ryan Davis, one of those big defenders and great players on this defense.
Yeah, now Lakota West, with time running down, If they don't get this first down, Mason's going to get the ball back. The refs discussing something.
With 1:05, they just stopped the clock. Give this time to give a quick shout out to guy Reese Mason. He has done a lot. I mean, he just came in and had that huge play over Wilhelm, I believe it was, and it was a great play for him to have the catch over his head, and came in after the injury to Davis, and he's having an impact here tonight. As I think they're gonna say he stepped out. I think that's what the call was. I have no idea. So they'll reset that clock to 1:13.
Yeah, and good call from the refs there catching that, but not sure it was too necessary to really stop the whole game for just that.
Blitz coming. Wiles makes the decision to just throw that one at the ground. And now it's going to be 3rd and long. Or, excuse me, 4th down. So we'll see Marquette coming out for the first time here tonight. Punt this one away.
Yeah, not the end of the half that West wanted, but, you know, Mason's going to have a chance here before halftime to try to get anything going.
And that's that defense we've been talking about all year, or excuse me, all game long. Mason holds strong. They've had a couple nice stops so far as Marquette takes the snap. A high flyer. Mason calls for the fair catch, and it is complete. So 1:01 on the clock. Andrew, do you think Chief in this offense can get anything going, or is it going to end like every other drive so far tonight?
I got to say it's probably going to end like every other drive so far tonight. I mean, I do respect Chief in this offense and what they've been able to accomplish this year, but I just think when you're going up against an offense like this, it's going to be like really, really, really hard. And I mean, Chief has shown some signs, but I don't know. I as much as I do like this Mason team, I just don't think they're going to be able to do this here with just a minute left, and not too much explosiveness on this offense.
I would agree. They do have 2 timeouts and a pretty valuable kicker. That, of course, being Max Gogol, as that one is a nice play over the middle. Broke a couple of tackles, but that's going to be a first down to move the chains. Clock still running. Or timeout, excuse me.
Looks like they stopped the clock just to move the change, but it'll start running again.
No timeout is called. I thought there was one, and that's going to take some time off. Sheaf, good time in the pocket, fires, and it is caught by Mason, and it's intercepted by Reese Mason. Just as I was talking about him, he makes the big play for Lakota.
Yeah, that's just got to be the most nonchalant play I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, just easy catch. It looked like Sheaf was throwing it to him from the start. And, I thought it was a pick at first, but no one reacted. And then eventually the ref signaled interception, and you heard the crowd here at Lakota West, applaud the play. So the Firebirds they do have a chance to put something on the board here.
Yeah, what a turn of events. I thought he might have been out because of the reaction immediately, but it is intercepted. And another interception for these Mason brothers between him and Finn.
Yeah, Reese Mason going up against his school, the Mason Comets, but
that's a good one. I get it. Oh, what a dime to Trey Barnett. Great throw by Wiles. And that's going to move the chains, but I do like that joke. It is funny, great pun. I think a lot of dads around Ohio will like it, but this offense is going to go no huddle, so we don't have time to talk about it. Wiles going deep to Davis. He likes to go to him, and he caught it again! Tyson Davis, oh my goodness!
And you can know that one's going to be on a reel in the future at Lakota West Broadcasting. What a play! He head topped him.
Look at that
every single
elevation.
time this team is at the end of the half, they throw it deep to Davis, and every single time he makes a play.
And
saw it against Middletown.
There's some laundry down on the field. I don't like that, Andrew. I don't like that at all.
It might be on the defense, though. I mean, they might have been pass interference because there was nothing on the offense.
And it is. It's on the defense.
Yeah, I mean.
It's on both, so it's going to be offsetting for West and Mason, which means we have a touchdown.
It looks like it'll be, yeah. There's not much else you can say. Tyson Davis has really shown up in this latter half of the season. We thought maybe at the start of the year, kind of struggling a bit early, but he has blown up, and I think, it's safe to say he's the best deep ball target on this team as he dunks it down there again. The head top, I mean, just amazing. He has 3 total touchdowns this game, putting on a show tonight against Mason and this third-ranked defense in the GMC.
Yeah, and speaking of Tyson Davis, he was a big part of last week. He caught every single pass except one against East, and he was Lyle's favorite target and also scored that touchdown. He's been having a heck of a season. I think that's his 6th or 7th touchdown on the year. Great props to him. 23 seconds left in this first half. Lakota West looking strong, 34-0 here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. So we return to Dwyer Field. Lakota West looking strong here at Hamilton. Once again, Andrew, how many times am I going to do it? Mason's home stadium, putting on a show in front of this Mason crowd. Definitely not the show they were looking for, as this is going to be a returnable kick. That one, a strong returner, and he is clotheslined. My goodness.
I mean,
That was
they're
Finn Mason
everywhere.
on the
Lakota
tackle.
West is. The Mason brothers, once again, going up against their school in Mason as they get revenge here on the Comets, but really good play right there. And we'll just see if Mason can get anything going. They might just need this thing out before halftime. But the Mason brothers, I mean, add a pick there.
One more.
To that. I mean, they've just done everything you can ask for. And really, this entire secondary. I mean, not just the Mason brothers, but Joel Drake and Colin Ogletree have also been amazing players in that secondary. And I think West has just shown that they are, a team you do not want to mess with passing the football.
Yeah, they've looked unstoppable all season. Sheaf another handoff, and I think that one will do it for the first half. I think they're just going to let the clock wind down. It is 34-0, so we'll have a running clock here at Dwyer Field. Stick around, maybe go to the bathroom, get a snack, get a drink, whatever it is you have to do. We will be back in approximately 5 minutes to show that Bolden interview. And we make sure to stick around for that, as it's going to be a very, very interesting interview.
I'm Nico Stonework with Lakota West Broadcasting, and I'm here with Coach Tom Bolden. I know you've been waiting for this interview, and so have I, so I'm glad we can finally get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to have you guys.
Yeah, so my first question, what is the biggest improvement throughout the season that you've seen with the Firebird team as a whole?
I think you'd break it down unit by unit to make it the whole, to be honest with you. I think offensively, we've gotten better and better each week from an offensive standpoint. Getting real good quarterback play from Sam. Offensive line has been solid, skilled guys. Having both running backs back healthy has really helped. And defense, they're executing their assignments a lot better. We had a little step back, I think, with the East game and some assignments and things like that, but credit to the East offense was really good.
My next question is kind of a goofy one, but do you have any like superstitions or like fun activities you do like right before the game just to hype yourself up?
Hey, this is a weird one. I mean, it's not weird, it's whatever. I take a really hot shower before every game.
Really?
I know that's kind of weird. You're probably sitting there
Does
thinking,
it burn?
that's the last thing I thought Coach Bolden
Yeah.
would ever. No, I just kind of like, it's just one of those things I've always done. I did it when I was a player in college. I think it just tended to relax me a little bit. But I do have some things. I like to wear the white visor. It's a big superstition for me. You know, certain types of gear and stuff like that. But the white visor is kind of my thing. You know, I don't really eat on game day, which is more because my stomach's still worked up and things like that. I've always told myself if I ever lost that feeling of anxiousness and things like that, then I'd probably get out of coaching. So that means I'm still excited about what I'm doing.
Was there anything that like led to that hot shower to begin with?
No, like I said, I think I just started doing it in college just to relax myself a little bit. And I'm like, man, this just, you know how it is, man.
Yeah.
You get out of a good hot shower and you feel relaxed and things like that because you're really tense, you're worked up and whatever. So after our team meal, I go back to the locker room while the coaches are in their position meetings, and that's kind of my thing. I blast my music and just soak in the shower.
I like
Heck,
that.
if we had a tub out there to fill it out, so I'd probably soak in the tub, little rubber ducky and whatnot, and just chill.
Okay, well, another question I had was, with your past at Coleraine, what is that like playing them every year? Obviously, you know.
It's tough because I grew up at Coleraine, played there, was an assistant coach forever, and then was the head coach for 13 years or whatever else. So yeah, no, it's always definitely a little weird, different vibe, but obviously Lakota West is where my heart is and all my love and things like that. So
It's good to hear.
but it's so you know, I want to beat them bad, you know what I mean? So but there is a little bit different vibe with it for sure.
And then headed into the playoffs, what is the main focus? Obviously, I know Mueller is probably, you know, tunnel vision on it, but what is the main focus? Like,
It's hard. I mean, you don't want a tunnel vision with the Moeller thing, but it's obviously been there the last 4 years. But there's a lot of good teams in the playoffs this year that you know, we might have to have a second round matchup with either St. X or Elder, and that GCL teams always present problems. You know how that is. But at least we'll get the 2 home games. It looks like if we handle our business Friday night at Mason. But yeah, no, the thing for that will be, you know, we just got to finish out strong, get better that first matchup that we have, and then stay healthy. That's the biggest thing people don't realize. You got to stay healthy. You got to get lucky. You got to stay healthy. But you know, if we take care of the ball offensively, we don't turn it over, and we do our assignments on defense, we'll be a tough out for people. We'll be tough to beat.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And then also, obviously that Princeton loss, that stings. But headed into the playoffs, if you play them, how confident are you that you're going to get the revenge? You know,
Listen, you don't sit there and give anybody bulletin board material and things like that. Yeah, but that does sting. We didn't have some calls go our way. We didn't play real well, and hats off to Princeton. A lot of had to do with them. But I do think we're a way different team since then. And I think in a very positive way we're a way different team. So yeah, I would love that opportunity to have another shot at them for sure.
Yeah, and then Hamilton, who we crushed, and then they crushed Princeton. So what are you thinking about them if you end up playing them again?
That's football for you. That's sports with 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Yeah, it's just some teams match up better versus other teams. There's just certain stylistic, you know, different schemes and things like that. So, Hamilton played them really, really tough last year. A lot of people thought they should have won that game, had a really rough call in that game. So I was surprised at the score, obviously, but I thought Hamilton plays them really, really, really well. So maybe not shocked at the outcome, maybe shocked at the final score of the outcome, but yeah, that just shows you how things are. I text the Hamilton coach and told him thanks, because at least if we handle our business, we could share the league title, and winning it outright is what you ultimately want to do. But next best thing, I guess, is sharing it. Mason has a phenomenal defense. So I think they're the 3rd overall defense in the league. So I told the offense, I said, we got to work out for us. And we're a little banged up at some positions. Some young guys are going to, and some other guys, and some young guys are going to have to step up. So, yeah, I mean, that's the focus right now. And then, we get to the playoffs, we'll see who we got first round, and then we'll prepare ourselves for them and whoever else moving forward. And it always just kind of shapes up the way it does, is what I tell the kids. And I always tell people, like, control what you can control. And what we control right now is getting better today at practice, tomorrow, Thursday, and then cutting it loose on Friday, and then get better for the playoffs.
Okay, so then headed into the playoffs, obviously the goal is to get a state title, but what would you say is that floor where this was a good season?
Listen, we've been successful, and a lot of people would look at this season and however it finished, and from this point where we're at to have it finished, and be like, what an awesome season. And there's other ways to measure the success with it. In terms of the wins and losses, it is what it is. You want to win the state title. If you come up short, then you come up short. Now, that doesn't mean the season was a failure, but you did not, we don't run from it, you would not accomplish your goals, your ultimate goal. But the other way we measure the success is how the guys have improved, the young guys, how they've improved to prepare themselves for next year, how the older guys have improved to put themselves in a position to go on to play at the next level. And then the other part is how they've improved as people, as students, as young men, as respectable people and citizens and things like that. So that's the other way that we gauge the success as well.
So that was my last serious question. My final question, just to end on a lighter note, what has been the funniest or most enjoyable moment of the season for you?
God, there's a lot of funny ones. I forget what game it is. I almost got ran over bad on the sidelines. That was kind of one of them scary, shoot moments, and then we laughed really, really about it. I got ran over in practice one time that the kids loved quite a bit. Didn't see it coming. I think anytime, and I went to the ground on that one, and almost killed our 80-something-year-old kicking coach, Jake Seitz's grandpa, kind of fell into him as well. So there's been some moments, but I guess the enjoyable, the fun stuff is just every day with the guys, practice, before practice, after practice, in the hallway. It's just that's why I do it. You know what I mean? I could probably be somewhere else making a lot of money and doing all that kind of stuff, but this is what I like doing. Like being around the high school kids, like doing this stuff with you guys, and seeing you develop and what you're doing and things like this, and this to me what it's all about.
Awesome. Thank you for the interview.
Nikos, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Did a great job.
The score is 35-0. Lakota West will be, 34-0. West is back deep to receive here at Dwyer Field. Andrew, what has been the biggest part of both sides of the ball here tonight?
Really, it's just been the line of scrimmage, and Lakota West has dominated it here in this game, as looks like Mason's kicking off at a really good spot on the field. Looks like there might have been a penalty before the half ended that led to that, but they will kick it off from the 45.
And there will be a running clock for the time being. And interesting enough, Mason is getting hyped on that sideline despite being 34-0.
Well, you got to, for this team, to continue to grow, you got to have these moments of adversity. And when you're going up against a team like Lakota West, you got to be able to fight back and have some team spirit. At the end of the day, the score might not be in your favor, but you can still show some heart, go out there on the field and compete. And I think that's what Mason is going to try to do here in the second half. As that student section's getting hyped, you'll love to see it.
So we'll see. We have Jackson Smith in. You mentioned it earlier about how Wiles is just hoping to not play in that second half, and I don't think he will. Motions Johnson. Snap. Looking. Four-man rush. Throw out to Johnson. His first catch of the night is going to be a first down and a nice play.
Easy pitching catch there for Braden Johnson, and a good location on the ball from Smith as he opens up this second half with the command of the offense. Wiles' day is done, as he did his part, took a big hit, and he's still up, standing.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see him go back into the game. Get his rest in, but we'll see 2nd and 1. Play clock just about 15. Smith in shotgun. Clock winding down. They're going to have to go quick. They're running out of time. Get it off. It'll be a run to Johnson. A little delayed, and they've got the first down.
Yeah, nice little play there. Just some miscommunication before the snap, and it led to not a lot of ground getting there. Sorry, I just had a stroke. That was bad, but it was a tough play there.
So we'll see what Smith does on 1st and 10. He's got Johnson who's left, so some starters still staying in this game, but definitely smart to pull Wiles. Snap, looking, steps up, gets it to Barella, and Barella not able to hold on.
Good throw there as Barella is still on the ground, but nice thread the needle from Smith. You love to see him throwing, but now an injury for the Firebirds, and that's not what you want to see.
Yeah, that's your second tight end, you're down, so we'll take a short step aside. Hopefully Barella's all right. So we'll return. Smith on the reverse, gives it to Norman. Norman gets a nice gain to bring up 2nd and a little bit.
Yeah, it should be about 2nd and 6 there, as the Firebirds will have a chance here.
Great view up here from the booth. Nice stadium as well. How to use a little GPS coming here. Not to be confused with GIS, which is something I was able to learn from AP Human Geography. Great teacher by the name of Mr. Gleim comments on all our streams, but I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry, Mr. Gleim, but I don't know a thing of what GIS is. I never have, and I probably never will. So Smith on 2nd and 6. Quick throw out to Davis, and just a little too high for him.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that topic, Nikos. Like you were just saying, still have no idea what that GIS means at all. But It was a fun class, I will say that.
Yeah, I think something the military uses, but I don't think anyone knows honestly what that is.
The Firebirds will set up the punt here. Up by 34.
Clock continuing to wind down. Just under 8 minutes and 10 seconds. This has been a strong punt unit. No miscues other than that first week of the season versus St. X. That one is a high flyer. A great punt and a great bounce inside the 10. Still bouncing, and that one's going to go out of bounds at the 5-yard line. A great punt from senior Joe Marquette. Love to see things like that from your top seniors.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been incredible this year doing his job, and sometimes the punter goes overlooked in the sport of football, but right there, doing his job once again, and it really is a very important position because it really decides the field position, and you know, it can really turn the game around, the field position that a team has.
So we'll see who they'll run out at quarterback. I think it's still Sheaf out there on 1st and 10. Of course, at that 6-yard line, definitely a rough spot as that one's handed off and stuffed by Grant Bierman in the backfield.
But Purdue commit getting in there. Him and Micah Markley, that defensive presence.
Yeah, this has been a defense, just a unit all season long. Not much to say there. You guys know it. We know it. It's just a team allowing 8.8 points per game. First in points per game on the offense and first in points per game for the defense. They're a solid unit across the board as they show blitz there. And that one's again going nowhere. And I think that's another loss of yards.
And you thought maybe this Mason offense would get something going in the second half. But no, nothing doing as this Firebird second unit doing a great job here.
So 2 straight tackle for a loss for this defense. And now you blink your eyes and it's 3rd and very long. Play clock winding down to 10. And they're going to reset it to 25. I'm not quite sure why. West students section getting loud here on 3rd and long. They are not letting up just because of that scoreboard. So they'll snap it again. Another handoff and another nowhere to go for Mason, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Mason right there. That was just way too one-dimensional of a play call. I mean,
I don't know what they were doing there. It's just 3 straight runs up the middle, and you lose 2 yards on the drive.
Yeah, I respect Brian Kastner as a coach. He's a very, he likes this team to play hard and play tough, but not really sure what the decision there was. I mean, that's kind of like you're playing not to lose more there than you're playing to win. You're just kind of running it and giving the Firebirds the ball back. I'm not really sure what was going on in his head there.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous punt all the way back in that end zone. I thought we might see a little bit of a punt block.
Yeah, and it's not even that the fact that, the clock would keep running with the run because you already have the running clock. It's just very, very interesting decision there.
Yeah, almost like they're waving that white flag up in the air, just saying they're giving up. But
you see Lakota East still only up 6-0 against Oak Hills. That is a pretty tight game, and if Oak Hills can pull off that upset, that would be massive. And that would be tough for East to fall off in the season with 2 straight L's to end the year.
Yeah, definitely. And with this clock winding down, it's looking like Lakota West is going to share that GMC title at least. I'm not sure exactly the score from that Princeton-Coleraine game, but an incredible season for Lakota West, really. I mean, coming into the season, you had maybe a couple of doubts. Obviously, you knew they were going to be an incredible team. You go in, certain aspects you think might struggle. You lose Brennan Remy over that offseason. Think maybe the targets might struggle. It hasn't. And then, of course, that loss to Princeton stings. But I think there's a flag down. But, I mean, they were able to get back up, pick themselves back up, and now they're looking like one of the best teams in the region.
Yeah, and these playoffs are going to be really fun to watch as all these teams do battle. I'm interested to see how Lakota East fares in those playoffs. You know, they're finally back in and doing their thing, so see if they can go pretty far with Kitna. And I'm really also excited to see how West does.
Nice run by Norman, and they'll get a few yards to bring up a little bit more manageable of a second down. Yeah, I mean, talk about this season having a couple questions. Next season, you're going to have a lot of questions. You lose Barnett, you lose Wiles, you lose your entire linebacking core except Cam Thomas. There are a lot of seniors on this starting lineup. You have Jackson Smith coming in, who not quite sure what you'll see out of him. A lot of promise there, but I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, for me, I'm more concerned about the defense and how they're going to recover because I already know this offense is still going to be one of the top in the GMC. I mean, you still have Jackson Smith, who's a developing product, but he's getting there with time as he throws the incompletion there. But, you know, he's going to be one of those guys that just has to go through that learning process and grow. And with experience, I think he's going to shine. But you also got that running back tandem of Norman and Johnson that's going to be back next year. You still got Xavier Radica. You still got Tyson Davis. This team's still going to be really in good hands on the offensive side of the ball. But on defense, yeah, definitely some concern to be there. I mean, you're losing Vincent Giordano, Micah Markley, Grant Bierman, both the Mason brothers. So there's definitely a lot of question marks there, but I'm confident that these guys will step up and have that next man up mentality and come in next year, you know, with some fire on that defensive end.
Yeah, 3 of your top 4 corners going out of the game off the team. It's going to be a lot as that one set up to Mason. That's a nice route. And oh, man, if he doesn't fall down, you might see a first down. But that'll bring up 4th down and about medium yards to go. And you'll see the punt team coming out onto the field.
Yeah, Coach Bolden is fired up on the sideline. Not too happy, looks like, but
yeah, had the nice play call, just wasn't able to pull it through. So we will see Marquette punt deep to Wilhelm. Marquette seeing a little bit more action than normal for most games for him. That one, a big hit right there. Micah Markley on the defensive play right there, I guess, special teams.
Shout out to Cam Thomas with the flip after the play. I don't know if the camera got it, but that was an amazing acrobatic move.
Yeah, this whole team, I mean, there really are not many weaknesses. They've had such an incredible season. Special teams, you had that struggle play at the beginning, and you're hearing the crowd get live and loud. You know this is your last, for a lot of these guys, last game, in the GMC and that regular season, and it's definitely an emotional one for all the players.
Yeah, and, the emotions definitely kick in, but at the same time, the excitement starts to creep up because you know the potential that they have in this playoff run. And can they finally beat Moeller? Time's going to tell, but it's a nice tackle out of bounds there. Looks like Mason has changed their quarterback. Joel Drake on the play.
And there's going to be an injury down on the field, so we'll take a short step aside here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. So after a little bit of a scary injury there, Mason will continue this game. Just a minute and a half left. 2nd and 13. Quick handoff to the right sideline. Has room to run, and he'll get the first down to move the chains.
Nice run there from Mason. Obviously trying to lighten up the mood after that scary injury that just happened, but, you know, you love to see him getting up and getting in that cart and getting off the field. You know, it's tough to see those type of injuries happen in this sport, and it's one of the many dangers that arise when playing football is the impact that injuries can have. But
yeah, it's definitely become a part of a game, no matter how much you try to limit it. As another handoff, that one to the left sideline, trying to break away, and he'll get pushed out for a nice gain in the first down.
Looks like this clock will run. They might take it to the end. Not sure, though. But, you know, a pretty fantastic night from this Firebird team all around.
Done a great job against a team who many saw as one of the best in the GMC, and we will see that they're just going to run that one out to the 4th quarter. So Mason will continue this drive right after this. We are Lakota West Student Broadcasting, live from Mason, Ohio. So 1st and 10 for the Mason Comets, trying to get some points on the board to break that eggshell. And
What a
that one,
hit.
Yeah, big hit right there off the left side.
Kamani Smith there.
And you're seeing these second strings. I'll mention again, I mentioned in that Oak Hills game, all these starters, they are telling them, we got 0 points in that first half. You guys better hold them to 0 in that second half. So we'll see. It's pretty much backups on backups at this point.
Yeah, but the backups of the Firebirds, I mean, that's like, it's still, I mean, it's going to be tough to score.
Freshman versus JV.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
Yeah, Mason are the freshmen in this analogy. So, snap. Handoff up the middle. And they are blown up. And West says they have the ball. And they're not going to give it to him, but nice defensive play. That one was Nathan Huggins on the grab, but they're just not going to give it to him.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 here.
Andrew, I'm not going to lie. This is one of those awkward moments in the game where not really much to talk about it. Got any plans this weekend?
Yeah, I planned, you know, just enjoy my weekend. That's all I got to say.
That's fair. That one is, again, up the middle, trying to fight for that first down. They're pretty close. They could go for the 4th down play, but they will not. Or will they? I mean, they are close.
They will bring on the punting unit.
Correct. So we'll see a punting unit, and we'll see West get this one. I'm praying that West can end this drive, making it the last drive of the game, and go home with no more injuries, as we've seen way too many tonight.
Time to punt it. Bit of
High flyer and dropped by Barella.
it hits Barella in the head. I mean, he's got to be mad about that. But
Yeah, man. Almost caught it, but just wasn't able to.
see if they can move Jack Barella to punt returner after that one.
Well, I don't think you want to. I mean, he dropped it, so I'm not sure if you want to put him back at punt return, but I guess if you're the coach, you can do that, Adrian. It's just not something I would do, you know. But heading into the playoffs, it's going to be fun to see who that first opponent is to start the playoffs, the OHSAA playoffs. Last year it was Western Hills, and I'm not going to comment on that one for their own sake. Usually that first round is pretty easy for one team, and then that second round is where things tend to heat up.
Yeah.
Norman, he'll get some room and get a nice game there.
Lakota West will pretty much have a bye to the second round. And, you know, in that second round, whoever they play, it should be a good game. I mean, they're probably going to be going up against some of the better teams. You know, you could potentially see a Lakota East. You could potentially see an Elder. One of those teams, maybe even St. X. And St. X is a team that could definitely do some damage. I mean, they know those Firebirds all too well. And you don't want your season to end short, you know, in a matchup that you find a way to lose. So they want to continue to make this run. You know, they definitely think this could be one of the best seasons ever.
What a run from Norman. Thought he might take that one all the way.
Yeah, but when you're, you know, thinking about the potential that this season has, I mean, any you know, step of the way, you've got to take proper precautions. And, you know, I think this team has what it takes inside them to, you know, go on a deep playoff run. But, you know, it's going to be one of those moments where you just got to, you know, hold your own and, you know, make one of the winning plays when it matters.
Yeah, I mentioned a little bit in that halftime interview, but you really don't want to have tunnel vision going into the game against Moeller despite, you know, losing 4 straight to them. But I don't think they will. This is a heavily coached team from Tom Bolden, and I don't think he would make a mistake like that.
Yeah, but you got to give credit to Mason. No points allowed in the second half. Their defense is held pretty strong. And I think this team is still one of the best defenses in the GMC. You know, obviously when you're going up against a team like Lakota West, it's going to be tough. But when you look at how many points Lakota West has scored this season in these games, they're usually scoring, you know, around the range of 50. And right now they're only being held to 34, which is a crazy sentence to say. But, you know, it makes sense with how good this team has been.
Norman taking around that left sideline. He's got room, but there's a flag down. I'm really excited for these playoffs. There's been a lot of heartbreak the last couple of years. Something I don't really want to get into. I mean, of course, the 2 straight losses to Moeller is there's a player down on the field. I think that is Xavier Radica. So we'll take a short step aside for the last 7 minutes and 17 seconds left in this game. So Radica was able to walk off with some help. He's going into the tent. So now there is less than 6 minutes to go in this, less than 7 minutes to go in this game. Smith with a big hit, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
As Mason here trying to get a stop. Lakota West has been limited in the second half. But as this game continues to wind down, we get closer and closer to kickoff of the Firebirds home playoff game next week. That should be a great one with some great atmosphere. Obviously, last year didn't have the greatest atmosphere because not too many fans showed up to the game thinking it would be a huge blowout, and they were right. I mean, it was not a close game in any regard. But Smith will take this one again. He'll be well short.
Yeah,
of first
I'm
down.
excited. I hope we can get a home playoff game. Those are always fun. And the second we can get information on that playoff bracket, we will tweet that out. Another reason to follow our Twitter account, and we will definitely be promoting that information to all of our followers. So just be prepared for that. I'm not sure when that's going to be released, but it's definitely been something I've waiting for probably the last 2-3 weeks, as we'll see the punt unit Marquette again. Interesting, he's punted so many times today, and yet we're still blowing them out. High flyer, fair catch, and that one will be at about the 15 for Wilhelm.
Yeah, and coming out here, looks like Mason's just going to stick with what they've been doing. And as this game continues to wind down, just 5:30 remaining, just going to want to see how this defense can play. I mean, they've played great all day, and I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Andrew, do you see a comeback happening in the last 5 minutes of this game? Obviously, 34 points is difficult to overcome, but do you think they can pull it out?
No, I don't think that would actually happen.
You don't think it's possible?
No,
Come on, have
I
some
mean,
optimism, Andrew. Come on.
you know, when you look at this offense and how they have not been able to move the ball all night, I mean, I just don't really see a comeback happening.
Yeah, I'm just joshing with you. Don't worry. I know more than that. But so on second down for Fairfield, oh my gosh, again, I got it. I don't know what's going on. It's been a long week, Andrew. But 2nd and 10 for Mason, the school.
Yeah, and right here, I think Mason is just going to continue to do what they've been doing, and that is run the football.
Just trying to end this game, maybe limp if they can make it to the playoffs with as much health as you can have.
And I think Mason is definitely a team that could go on a run. They actually went on a pretty deep run last year as they beat Milford in the second round. That was a big upset there. And then, you know, obviously they played Moeller, and I think we all know how that game ended. They got absolutely obliterated. But, you know, they still showed they can make a run. They can hang with some of these teams, and they did a good job in that game.
Mason's one of those teams where it's an example of just a winning mentality. You know, they're not always the best team, the best talent, as you can see here tonight, but they're going to cause some trouble in the playoffs, whether that's 1 win, 2 win, or more. They're going to do something just because that winning mentality is. Another handoff, breaks a couple tackles, and he is blown up to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and I think Mason is just a really fun team to cover because they do everything that winning teams do. You know, they're not the greatest team in the GMC every single year, but they always put up their best fight, and you always know when you play them, you're going to get their best. And, you know, tonight, Lakota West showed that they're the much better team, but, you know, it's going to take a lot to take down this Firebird team. And I think even with Mason, with how they played, you know, they got the ball running a little bit. They still just weren't able to do anything, and that just speaks to how well this Lakota West team executes and how well they play. And I think they are on track to have one of the best years in Lakota West football history.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see Stanley back deep to receive. He will take that one. He's got some room to run, and he'll be brought down at, I believe, the 39-yard line. And we'll see the offense, hopefully, for the last time of the game.
Yeah, and I think Jackson Smith want to see him get going here. Obviously, they're probably just going to run this game down, but still interesting to see Smith get these reps. He's done good in this triple option offense, but we want to see his ability to pass as well.
Yeah, I love seeing him just get some work in throwing the ball, because he's a guy that, you know, he's gotten a lot of experience under center this year just because of how dominant West has been. But like you saw there, it's just been a lot of run plays as Norman fighting, rolling forward for about another 10 yards. And I guess that's why you continue to run, as it seems to work pretty well. But when you got a guy like Jackson Smith, you just want to see him get some throws in and maybe push it downfield a little. But when you're up this many points, you're likely not going to see too much of that.
Yeah, Kenyon Norman looking like an armadillo there. I mean, just rolling down the field and using his, ability.
Roly-poly, too.
Yeah, roly-poly, an armadillo, whatever you want. And
so inside the 25, less than 2 minutes to go. Norman trying to get that outside angle. Good defense from Mason. But I think that'll be a gain of about 1 or 2 there.
we want to, again, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It's another successful stream and successful game for the Firebirds. And, I'd like to, again, shout out Mr. Gleim for those comments he gives us every single week. And, everyone who comments on these streams and likes them, we thank you guys. And, we hope to see you guys next week for that playoff game as the playoffs begin for the Firebirds.
Norman, and there it is, the touchdown you were looking for. You said they were scoreless in the second half. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore, indeed, as Kenyon Norman just takes it in, and Lakota West gets that 40-burger they were looking for tonight, and the clock continues to run. And
Flag
Jackson
down on the
Smith
field. It's
ruled a touchdown, but something maybe at the end of the play.
I
I'm not
think
sure.
personal conduct I heard on the PA, but
Looks like this clock will run down, though. It's still running.
very excited for the playoffs indeed, and we're going to try to give live video footage and coverage. It's not always easy with some of the other broadcasting groups out there recording for the playoffs, but we're going to do our best, so just stay tuned for that. It's going to be an exciting run, and I guess just the hope is we get past Moeller this year as refs come out onto the field. With just 15 seconds left, I can see the look on your face, Andrew. Can you guys just end the game, please? And so now they'll move back this extra point.
Yeah, and these refs have had their fair share of stopping the clock today for no reason, but they do it again here as the clock is running.
And
see if they can get
why.
the kickoff. They're trying to run this drill.
This is a
Can they
pretty
get it off?
far
5,
kick.
4, 3, 2, 1. Clock runs out.
Oh, they didn't get it.
But they're
it's
still
gonna go
probably going
up.
to count it.
It's up.
It's good.
And it's good, Andrew, and that is the game changer. My goodness, so it's 43-0 to end this game. It is going to be a great playoff season. Get ready for playoff football for the Firebirds. The clock hits 0, and that will do it. We thank you for tuning in, and we will see you for the next broadcast here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.